Hi, folks. I'm Tammy Massa. I'm a caregiver for a family member that is a hoarder. Let me ask you something. How are you doing? I mean it. How are you doing? When is the last time someone asked you that? I want to talk about something today. And I think if you're caring for someone that hoards, it might actually be about you, too. Even if you've never said it out loud, let me know if you felt this way, too. In the beginning, before I understood anything about hoarding as a real disorder, I was just angry. I felt like my family member who hoards was choosing things over people who loved her. There was nowhere to sit in her house anymore. You couldn't even visit her. I mean, not really, because there was just nowhere to be with her. Holidays became impossible. She stopped cooking. I mean, nothing about being with her felt like being with her anymore. Then I was resentful about it. Over time, I learned she had little to no power about anything that was happening to her. But that understanding, it didn't make the feelings go away, it just changed the shape of them. The anger turned into anxiety and into sadness underneath it. I started visiting her less and less, and I want to be honest about why. It wasn't only distance for her sake or to give her space, it was self preservation. The anxiety was physical for me. Before I'd go to see her, I'd get these stomach aches and nausea. My body was telling me something that my mind hadn't caught up to yet. Now, this leads me to a really important point: your health. For a while, my stomach was so bad, I wasn't any good to anybody. Health really is the most important thing. I started making appointments with doctors, and I'm glad I did. They were able to figure out what was going on and got me back to my old self again. The point is, take care of yourself. Get regular checkups. Don't let those little things become big things that can really take you out of the game. Then you aren't any good to anyone. Then there was guilt for staying away from her. I imagine how lonely she must feel, and I'd hate myself for choosing how I felt over her company. Then there was a separate guilt for not doing more about the house itself. I mean, how could I let someone that I love live like that? I'm one of the people closest to her, and I knew other members of our family were quietly looking to me, expecting me to be the one responsible for her, or responsible if something ever happened to her. That's a heavy thing to carry alongside your own grief about the situation. But there's another layer of guilt that I don't think any of us talk about. And you know what? I only fully understood it while I was preparing for this episode. So, in a way, I have you guys to thank for this revelation. Seriously, thank you. 15 years ago, when we emptied her house, she was a trooper. She really was. But going back to a house with everything gone, it hurt her deeply, more than she ever said out loud. She knew logically that she had the power to bring it all back, and we had the best of intentions. But I think somewhere underneath that, she already understood that it was never really going to all come back. Not because any of us decided that. It was just because that's how life works. Life moves on around a pile of boxes in someone else's outbuilding. She was wiser about that than any of us were at the time. And I think now that's part of why she filled up that house right away. It wasn't really all about the objects at all. I think she was filling the void that got left behind, a void that we created with the best of intentions in the world, but we never came back to fully refill it. Now, I'm not telling you that to make you feel guilty if you've done something similar. I'm telling you because I think it's true and because I think it matters more than almost anything else I've said in this series so far. And if I had that to do all over again, I would have found ways to fill her life with other things: hobbies, family activities, anything but stuff. Now, if you're a caregiver watching this, feeling anxious before every visit, pulling away to protect yourself, carrying guilt from every direction at once, I want you to hear this clearly. Feeling that way doesn't mean you're failing them. It means you're human and you're carrying something heavy, and you've been carrying it for longer than anyone around you probably realizes. You are allowed to have limits. Taking care of yourself is not the opposite of taking care of them. It's the only reason you're still able to show up at all. 15 years in, still making these videos, still trying. On that note, I'm going to say that I know that people that care for loved ones and family members that hoard tend to isolate themselves. I did for the longest time, mostly to protect her privacy, somewhat because I was embarrassed myself. I'll admit that. But one thing that really helped me was having someone to talk to. It can be another family member, a best friend, someone going through the same thing, or a hoarding specific support group. Find someone. It is important. And you will be so surprised at how that can help, what a difference that'll make. Now, if you're looking for a support group, make sure you find a hoarding specific support group, not just a caregivers group. A general caregivers group, they won't understand the shame and secrecy that come with our situation. Feel free to email me at hello.holdingon@gmail.com if you have any questions or comments that you want to ask in private. Subscribe if this is helping, and I'd like to hear from you guys too. I'll see you next time.